GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
How are you doing, folks? Look at that, we're back after a couple of weeks away. What were you doing, actually, while we were away? What were you listening to?
Oh, who, me?
No, not you.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to the people. It's not all about you, you know.
I know, it's just I'm the only person in the room. Sometimes when you say...
Sometimes I quite like talking to myself.
I've noticed that, yeah. Except normally when he's talking to himself, it's him going, "Yeah, fucking idiot, what are you after doing now?"
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I didn't say I like myself, but I do like talking to myself.
No, yeah, look at you being fucking happy for a minute. How dare you? That's a... Jim
that's you all over, isn't it? Oh,
look at you.
Yeah. Don't think about all the troubles in the world,
I've no business being happy. I'm going to go out and be miserable for the day. Miserable or dead. That's what we're talking about earlier on. We were, myself and Jim, I just suddenly had a realisation that I have to do a will now. Now that there's children's and, partners and all these stuff, there's actually people I have to do a will. But it's, I don't even know how to do it. You go to the solicitor and give them a tenner, I presume, anyways, to start.
A tenner? well, I think because you can do your own one. You can do, you can literally walk into Eason's.
No, you can't.
I swear to God, honestly.
And what, give us 2 crayons on a white page?
You can go into Eason's, right? Honestly. You can go into Eason's and you can get a template and you can attempt to fill out your own and then get it autographed by a solicitor or whatever.
Are you
whatever
serious?
The official. Yeah, there's a template you can buy. If you don't, but
does it not have to be an oldie worldy legal language? Surely you can't. Does it not have to be this being my second and last will of testament? No, it doesn't have to be.
I don't know if it has to be that, but do you know something?
Does it still have
to be typed? As in, the old-fashioned typewriter? Because that used to be a thing. That you couldn't, you don't just do it up in a word processor and print them out. They had to be typed on it. Have you ever seen a will?
That tells you how old Jim is, that his will was typed in the 1970s.
It's not my will.
He did his will.
Because I saw it with me mum and dad's will.
Oh, yeah.
As their executor or whatever. I saw it. So I'm just wondering, do they still have to be like that?
I haven't a clue. I'll let you know, because I'll probably do it now in the next week or two.
Yeah. Don't forget about letting me know that. What am I getting is what I want to know.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to itemise my will, real old world style, like you used to see in those movies. And the best thing is I own absolutely fuck all. So it'll be one of those going, "To Jim McCabe, I leave you my most prized possession. 2 Vans t-shirts bought in 1997.
Great.
Both with holes in the nipple area." It'd be like that, yeah.
That would be great. For somebody that has nothing in their estate, it would be great to itemise it. Because effectively it would look like you are going through a jumble sale or a dump or
car
something.
Boot sale,
yeah. The mirror off a Ford Anglia from I leave to my nephew Tony.
Yeah. And you know the way in American wills, they can leave you money, but only on the proviso that you do a certain thing with it. I wonder, can you do that in Ireland? I wonder, can I go, "To Jim McCabe, I leave the grand sum of €560, as long as he spends it on crisps and Fanta and not on alcohol or anything he enjoys."
Yeah.
I wonder, can you do that? You probably can't. There's no way of controlling it.
But you never know.
Yeah.
But is that the executor of a will? Are they meant to? I know the term, but are they meant to enforce it? So in other words, supposing somebody, if I was the executor of a will and you were left something, would I have to make sure that you adhered to the conditions of it? So if you were I leave my nephew PJ Gallagher €1,500, providing he wears rubber pants for an entire year.
And I
have to call around every day going, "Have you got your rubber pants on?"
Tax off, come on. Drop your strides. Need to see the rubbers. Go on,
exactly.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you a motorbike that you can sell for money, but you can only sell it and I'm going to make your missus the executor of the will. You can only sell it if you've done everything she says for a year beforehand.
Yeah. That would be you now. You'd be somebody who'd have that last laugh idea in a will. Even from beyond the grave, you'd find a way of, I tell you what I'm going to do. This would be hilarious now. I'm going to make Jim's life miserable for at least 12 months.
You have to go to Anfield every 2 weeks for a year and stand in the cop end. And you have to say, you have to go.
Imagine. Have you ever been? I've never been left out in a will.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. which doesn't say much, seeing as though everyone I was related to was dead. So I wasn't really in the good books, obviously, now when I think about it that way.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I suppose,
no.
I suppose as part of a family you do or will do, or... But I'm just thinking, you haven't had like an aunt or an uncle or anybody who's
leave
ever...
me anything. No, they won't even talk to me. Never mind leave anything in the will, so... no,
you can probably do mad stuff like leave to a load of dogs, eh?
I'm like, there's what to leave. Honestly, I own 4 motorbikes, 5 t-shirts, 2 pairs of jeans. There's not a lot to leave.
Yeah, but they're all celebrity. It's the fact they're celebrity. Like a celebrity arse has sat on those motorbikes and been in those jeans and everything.
Nobody thinks I'm a celebrity. Even you.
I think you're a celebrity
You
arse.
literally only say, yeah, I am an arse, yeah. I'm up, yeah. There's definitely no doubt about that. But that's the thing, like, there's not really a lot to leave. And then with kids and stuff, I don't think you can even leave stuff anymore. I think they can get to the stage now where you go, I leave everything to the cat and dog home, but your kids can actually go, do you know something? No, fuck that, and they can take cat and dog home to court.
Yeah,
I think there's a way
you can
now.
contest stuff.
Ireland, and in Ireland, like, you get divorced, it's not actually over in Ireland. We're the only country in the world that you get divorced and it's all done, and you settle, you pay each other what it is, you move away from each other the whole lot. But then a year later, you win the lottery. They can still come back and go, you know something? I actually want some of that as well.
That wasn't enough the first time.
But we're divorced. They go, I don't give a fuck. I actually said
that's true. Ireland's the only place that can happen.
That you can still come back.
Yeah. Now it hasn't happened ever.
Has it never happened?
No. So I've been told it's never actually happened.
Oh,
It's never been upheld. But in theory, there is no decree nisi or whatever the expression is.
If you ever win the lottery, I'm going to try and pull that move on us. I'm going to say, I was with that man. I was with that man.
I was his common law husband.
I shared a room with that man every day for years. And now he wins the lottery and he says he's retired all of a sudden. Fuck, no, he isn't. Not without me, he isn't. I am sleeping in the room with that man for the rest of his life, or he has to buy me out.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
Imagine that. Imagine if I did win the lotto and said, right, perfect, that's it. I'm out of here, folks. Adios. Here we go. Finally.
I'd be like, no, I'm coming with you.
And you took a law suit,
case. And I will take it. If
he's not coming in, I want half the money.
I want to see him. I want access. I want access. Yeah, I want access.
Yeah. I'd like joint custody of Jim.
I'd be taking your missus to court saying, I want in on this. You can't just cut me off like I don't exist all of a sudden. Just you win the lotto and then all of a sudden you're the partner he heads off with. What about me? He saw me and he never saw you. He's with me every day.
Oh, man.
You went to work, I went to work, I was with him at work. Where were you? Why do you get the money? Get the fuck out of me life. Where do you think you are? Taking my gym off me.
Wow.
Yeah, this is no way.
That'd be quite the court case.
I'm not having this.
That'd put Wagatha Christie in the halfpenny place,
Oh,
wouldn't it?
yeah, and I tell you, it's happening. I don't even know your second name, Yvonne. You're not in this. You're not part of this relationship, okay? I don't even know where to send the letters. That's how little I know you. You're not a part of our relationship. Third wheeling along here just because he lies down in the same bed as you and you're asleep. You're not even talking to him. Third wheeling along. Like you're a part of the show. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I really look forward to that. Oh, wow. So what?
Yeah. And Jim would be still there going, look, what could I do to make you all happy?
I'd be dead, and I'm still going, oh, jeez, it's probably my fault.
Yeah, John, this is
I shouldn't have died when I did.
I should have just written something into the will for him. A year's supply of Frosties or something just to keep him happy.
Wow. So what are you going to sort of do with your will thing?
I think I'll just do a very generic, because you can do
your
that,
estate.
can't you?
Just call it your estate. I always think it's a great name as well. Your estate.
Your estate.
It makes it sound like you've got
loads. Like deer in the back garden.
Yeah. So I leave my estate. What? Your Honour. What is his estate? It's a Vespa, a pair of torn Levi's.
A bike that no longer starts, that he used as a coffee table. And
his mind you, there is 22 Mickey Mouse t-shirts, identical Rocky t-shirts, which were bought on late night eBay back in 1983.
Yeah, and don't forget 2 fake gold rings and his favourite spoon for the cereal. Because that's very important.
For the man who famously had one bowl, one spoon, one knife,
I know,
one fork,
and
all
that kills me now. There's so much shit around the place now because Kelly's like American, so Americans need loads of shit. They're just their lives, they're filled with shit. That's what I've realised that. I shouldn't say shit, but it's filled with shit. And they always we need this, we need a. Oh my God, I can't believe we don't have a parsnip processor. How are we going to give them parsnips? We don't have a parsnip processor. I got to get on this. And the parsnip processor arrives. He goes, oh my God, the size of this. Get rid of that. We need a carrot sympathizer and all this stuff. And there's so much shit around the place.
Yeah.
And there's toys around the place and there's like miniature clothes they're growing out. And, it kills.
Miniature clothes?
Yeah, for the baby.
Miniature clothes. It's just Excuse me, sorry, miss. Where's your miniature clothes department? Sorry, what? Your miniature clothes. do you mean children's department? Yes, whatever. Miniature people. Well, like miniature clothes.
Miniature people. Jesus Christ, how is this complicated?
Miniature clothes. I'll never fit into that. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Why have we got all these miniature clothes? I can't wear any of these. They're not for you.
They're not for you, for the babies. Well, why do we have miniature people then? When are they going to?
Why can't they wear adult clothes? They're growing.
When can we get to the stage we all share clothes again? This is ridiculous.
Come here, the other thing I meant to ask you is, right, on a final note on this. What?
On a final note, I'm not fucking talking about this anymore.
So we've established that you've got nothing to leave.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so I'm like, when you go and
as in material goods. No.
The thing of it is, as much as you slag me about being old, which I'm not, by the way, just saying. But as much as you slag me about being old, right?
Yes, yeah.
I think most people, if there was a risk assessment done, there's much more chance of you going first.
Oh, definitely.
So it's really about what's in it for me. All right.
That's a good point.
Which we've established is very little. I might get your holy T-shirts.
Well, you know what I mean.
Your glasses. You leave me your glasses.
Again, I think you have a claim against my children. Because
that's true.
You do know me longer. We've been together longer. We've been together longer than me and Kelly have been together.
Yeah.
Actually,
you're right.
When it comes to a caregiver situation, you've definitely cared for me more than I've ever cared for them. So I think you'd have an
a really strong case.
You have a really strong case.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
But what I was going to say to you, is there
a much stronger case than the Vaughan has on ours, Jim? Let me just once again restate that for the record.
You're really staking your claim here, buddy.
I want this podcast to be used in court. Well,
you're going to end up applying for a marriage of some sort.
Civil partnership.
Civil partnership. Yeah, but he's already. No, I want my own one.
Well, I want one with him, right? Because we've done it. This is like this thing. Just because we've been essentially a working couple for a long time, and the government doesn't recognise shit about it.
Yeah. If they'd written that into the referendum. And
then he's living in the hills with a young one. and why does that get more recognition?
Shocking.
Because of tradition.
Tradition, unbelievable.
Shocking.
But come here, listen.
You're a very nice person.
do you know?
You're just not as deserving in this as I am.
Do you know anybody who could potentially leave you stuff?
No, I don't. They literally are all dead.
I'm trying to think of anybody that there's any hope of me getting anything out of.
No, this is what I'm saying, Jim. We're each other's only hope.
Oh,
here,
Lord
okay?
God. Talk about staring into the abyss. Jesus. We're each other's only hope.
Yeah.
It's over, people.
It's over. If it all goes wrong for you and I die, Jim, you have a Harley Davidson and some old T-shirts. That's,
great.
And a Vespa,
Brilliant. Fantastic.
So you'll be able to ride off into the wilderness yourself, Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And like you said, there's a far greater chance of me carking it. And both of us know that's true. Neither of us know why. But it is definitely.
It just feels right.
It just feels right. Drama. If something dramatic is going to happen.
Yeah, and you'll want to do, being you'll want to do something dramatic, go full James Dean on us and all that, you know what I mean? Go out in the high. You wouldn't be prepared now to grow old kind of gracefully and slowly seep out of the public consciousness. You'll want to go
I'd hope
full
not.
bang, literally dramatic.
I hope I get
everybody.
Yeah, I hope I get wrongfully assassinated or something. Out
wrongfully assassinated.
Yeah.
So you don't want anybody to dislike you enough to kill you.
No,
you just want to be done by accident.
I hope I get done by a stray bullet. One day I'm happy, I'm walking around.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's going. I'm enjoying myself, and then bang, stray bullet, poof, straight in the head, gone. Nothing about it.
Wow,
what I mean?
Okay.
I die with a smile on my face. Straight bullet.
Gotcha.
When I'm
And
sit-
then you get the sympathy vote. Actually.
And then
That's
everyone
good.
goes, the poor fella.
Yeah.
Jeez, and where was Jim, they'll say? Where was he supposed to be looking after him?
I thought you were going to try and make out I was the gunman.
Yeah, probably was, yeah. Well, yeah, that's... Yeah, you know it's Jim. No, he left everything to Jim and his will. 2 T-shirts and a Harley Davidson.
Just saying, the rumour is Jim had him
I'm just
insured.
saying, if I was Jim, I'd have shot years ago.
Nothing to do with the money.
Just he's a prick.
Right, so while you mull over those thoughts, have a listen to a few of the best bits on the show during the week. Wow. We were actually speaking of bad behaviour. We were speaking about P. Diddy.
P. Diddy, yeah.
And not just his bad behaviour,
but
he was on
who
the receiving end as well.
Yeah, and we were saying that, maybe it wasn't the worst thing, but there you go.
There you go. So yeah, we had a chat about P. Diddy during the week. Also, on the subject of angry people, there was a bus protest. Now, not here, admittedly, it was in the UK, but we were very much on board with this particular bus protest.
Yeah.
Mainly the protester himself.
Mainly
because it was singular.
There's nothing more entertaining than a middle-aged man on a mission, I think. Yeah,
brilliant. And I have to say, he handled it very well. It's exactly the way we'd approach any kind of campaign.
I think it is. Yeah. Half-arsed, basically.
Half-arsed is right. Sunbathing came up. Obviously, PJ and myself, not that long back from our holidays, and in the early part of the week, we had some good sunshine weather, didn't we?
We had gorgeous,
some lovely days. So the subject of sunbathing and how it has transformed
over the years. Yeah. Because it's going out of fashion. That's what this story is, and we try to examine exactly maybe why that is. I suppose. Yeah.
And what comes out of it is it's amazing we all lasted this long.
Yeah, it's amazing the people. I mean, how are they? We should be in the will of half these people because they are going to be dead very soon.
But these are things maybe that we all learned too late in life, and that came up for discussion as well. The things that you kind of wonder, how did I get to this point in my life, and not know that. Or believe something that was completely wrong. Yeah,
things you just learned way too late. For Jim, it was about, I'd say about 3 or 4% of these things rang a bell. For me, it was 97%.
Anyway, see what you make of them. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
Hey, you know that expression about, you're never too old to learn, or it's never too late to learn, or whatever?
And it isn't. I guess you always learn in all your life.
Absolutely. Even if that includes learning that you were wrong.
About everything. About all kinds of things.
Exactly.
And
suddenly finding out that, what?
Yeah.
You mean that's not true?
What did you say there? Like when I found out there it's about a year ago that in Message in a Bottle, the song, Sting doesn't say, a year has passed since I broke my nose. I thought that for decades. I thought that. Decades.
Wow.
And people have been sharing online stuff that they learned way too late in life. People in their 40s and 50s and stuff, Yeah.
And these aren't kind of just casual things necessarily, like, say, misheard lyrics or
no.
whatever. These are things that it's a little bit like, it's along the lines of when you told that story of how you thought that cows were kind of wild and they had to be
when I was young,
that they had to be heard. They are herded, but you know what I mean. They had to be kind of
hunted by the farmer to give me beef, to put beef in a packet.
Yeah. I'd be like finding out that wasn't true.
Because I went to throw a stone at a cow when I was a kid, and my dad says, "Don't do that to farmer. We'll get upset, we'll kill you." And I went, what farmer? I thought the cows were just moving across the land.
It's some of those kind of embarrassing beliefs that you actually can't believe that you did believe it.
Yeah, well, in fairness, I was a child when I believed what I was believed. This woman was 27 years old when she found out cheese didn't grow on bushes. So I'm not that bad.
Cheese, right?
Yeah, and people who's a 57-year-old man who thought a pony was a baby horse, he only just realised a pony is a separate animal. He thought some people that thought the Sistine Chapel was always the 16th chapel, that there was 15 other chapels, but the 16th was the great one in the Vatican.
He finally got it right.
Yeah,
after 15 mistakes. I believe the 16th one's beautiful.
Michelangelo,
beautiful.
Now, when he got to 17, he was a bit tired and went backward again. But the
16th chapel.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. One woman thought that Yetis and Eskimos were the same. That a Yeti was a type of Eskimo. It was a tribe of Eskimos.
But the old Eskimos are wearing the big furry jackets.
Yeah,
They do look a bit Yeti-like.
I know, but Eskimos are actual people that exist, and Yetis don't. Somebody thought the black market was a place that was in town, that you used to go into town to the black market, and you could get anything in it. But they could never find it.
Wow.
So they were like, where's the black market? And people say, well, it's like, what do you want? They'd be like, well, where is it? They thought it was like round the back of the Ilac.
Oh my God.
You could go to
is it the new name for the dandelion market?
Is that the black market, is it? Because there's a fellas in there buying guns and drugs and everything. It's unbelievable.
Why don't they close it down?
And there's loads of them. So
these are people who have gotten like well into their lives.
Well into their lives. Well into their lives.
And genuinely believed these.
Yeah, one person thought pineapples came out of coconuts. They thought you opened a coconut and there was a pineapple in it. That's where pineapples came from.
Oh my God.
Yeah. These are great though. Like they are really great. And my favourite one though is that one person only realised in their 40s. They only realised that when people were arguing about euthanasia, like the euthanasia should be legalised, and euthanasia is, and they never really understood the debate. It was like, what's wrong with the euthanasia, and why shouldn't they be allowed to come to Ireland? Why shouldn't it be illegal to be an Asian?
A youth in Asia.
An Asian youth. And people who thought Mick Jagger was called Muck Jagger. Because they're like, Mick Jagger, yeah.
What, like
Jagger.
McCabe?
Hell yeah, like...
Mick Jagger?
Yeah, why has he never done something for McDonald's? Be the perfect partnership. It's great, isn't it? Yeah. I'd read these all day, to be quite honest, because some of them... But then, did you know that paprika is just a pepper, a ground pepper? Did you know that? Dried powdered peppers, bell peppers.
No.
So even we're learning stuff now. Yeah. Even we.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one thing, like... But, that's on a totally different scale to believing that cheese ultimately comes from
from a
bushes growing on a bush.
Because someone had to tell you that.
And
your brother or your friends had to tell you that there was a cheese bush somewhere.
That would be. It's the moment that these people found this stuff out that you would love to be there.
Yeah,
and to see how. No, I know.
And whether or not they doubled down.
Exactly.
Because this is what I always love. We grew up with a fella and he would honestly believe anything. So we decided we would tell him anything to see how much of it he'd swallow. And the best part was when it came back around, when he re-imparted the information.
Right.
So once we told him, there's a bus in Dublin, a 32X or something we called it. And no matter where it is, if you flag it down, it has to take you where you want to go. You could say Manchester. Or you could say Drogheda, or you could say Galway, but it has to take you. And no matter where you go, and it's 24 hours a day, and it could be anywhere in the country at any time. And we were sitting around, and then he starts going, there's a bus called the Tour. Right, he told the story, right?
Right.
And then we went, who told you that?
Made it his own, yeah.
And we were like, who told you that? And he says, no one told me that. I was on it.
Yeah.
So the doubling down, So, so somewhere out there, this is the same fella, though, that when... he told us he had all Nelson Mandela's albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, what are you talking about? He went, Nelson Mandela. Yeah. Brilliant.
Unbelievable.
We were like, right, yeah. Good songs, aren't they? Really good. I've been into them for ages. I've
Oh
always
my
been
God.
into them. Yeah. So,
And you hung around with this guy?
Who wouldn't hang around with this guy?
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Sunbathing. Where people are losing interest in it. They don't want to just lie around in the sun anymore. So with all the constant health warnings, that's kind of knocked the crack out of it. I mean, not that I'm saying... shut up about the health one. I mean, it's knocked the crack out of it, but of course we need to do it. But that's knocking the crack out of it. The constant, you have to be using factor 50 and don't be doing that, and you make sure you're oiled up and all, and skin cancer is very dangerous. And that constant warning that puts people off it. And then there's just, in the modern world where we want to be distracted all the time, where we don't want to just sit. Well, me and Jim want to sit and do nothing. But most people don't want to just sit on their holidays, on their bum or on their back for hours at a time doing nothing but soaking up sun. It's just going out of fashion. People want to be out moving around and doing activities in it, going, I don't know, cycling, snorkeling, walking.
What is happening
whatever.
to people?
But
you don't want to just lie there doing nothing.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? That's the whole point.
What has happened to the modern world?
It's literally the whole point. And people want to now, because sun fashion is a thing as well. I suppose it always was, but it's even more so now. Like a lot of the influencer stuff, they want to put on their sun fashion and get out and about and be more social. Where I suppose putting on a set as the smallest jocks you could find.
Exposing as much of your body as possible.
And lying on a black plastic bag next to a big sandwich in your back garden. It doesn't have the appeal anymore that maybe it once did, And that was the thing.
Because, I mean, sunbathing, to be fair, once upon a time, the approach to sunbathing was nearly like work.
It was.
People would go on holidays, and their approach to sunbathing was literally, I mean, they had to be up in time to make sure they got the best bed, and you know what I mean? And it was literally, it was a dedication, and there was ways you had to lie down to make sure you got it underneath your arms or whatever.
And it was, you'd be asking, like your sisters and all, back in the day, you'd be asking, are you getting ready for your holidays? Oh yeah, I've 2 pints of cooking oil in the bag and all. So I'd be frying there in the sun. I'm going to lie on a big black plastic bag with my arms in the air and put the cooking oil all over me.
What was the black plastic bag?
Do you not remember that? It would attract the heat, apparently. That was
because
the theory.
black attracts it.
And it would attract the heat and it'd burn you even more. And you'd be slipping and all and it'd burn the sweat back into you. Oh, it was gorgeous.
Oh my God.
The people walking around the mat thinking, I'm going to get scorched out of it. I want to be the colour of a Ferrari. And then when I come back after about a month when your skin falls off, you'll be brown.
Wow,
these were genuinely the attitudes.
Their mate used to use baby oil for some.
Baby oil, that was a thing, yeah.
How dangerous was it back in the day? I mean, the cooking oil thing, I thought that was a joke, but apparently that was an actual thing.
People
genuinely thought that, well, sure, if it works for a turkey.
Should you ever see how brown your turkey is? If it works that's what I want to be. And the baby oil, that was a big one. And trying to get this lowest factor oil you could get, like factor 2. I had a load of factor 2 on my head. Don't know how I got burnt. Wow. And following the sun all the way down. People would be in the garden and the sun would go and they'd start walking out into the front garden and then down the road. Be lying down now outside the shops after a while, just following it all the whole way.
And that's the mad thing about it, is that you never going to take, like, it's literally, it goes across the sky.
Yeah.
But you always felt that there had to be an angle that you were at it.
It had to be an angle
to get it properly.
One. So it would go
you wouldn't
right
just
up the
let it go
middle
around you.
Yeah. You had to go right up the middle, between your legs, onto your belly button, across your chest, up over your face. Try and get the perfect angle. Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's so different, isn't it?
It's so different. So we're getting much more aware of it now, and fashion and beauty trends, red and peeling skin doesn't really fit in anymore.
Yeah.
They're more...
Because that is the thing. There was always people, everybody knew somebody who always got this incredible...
tan.
Like, they came back looking like a fence.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's it,
They were that,
Look at you. Look at your seal over there. Look at you.
But then the rest of us would go, and as you say, all it would be, you'd be just inflicting pain on yourself.
Yeah.
You never got a colour. You were blotchy. You were peeling.
Yeah. And bright red.
You were sore.
Pink. Like bright red. Good colour for a van.
Yeah.
Was what you'd look like, yeah. And thinking that it might fall off and you might get brown underneath it. Remember, that was a theory.
That was always brown exactly.
Underneath.
That once exactly, that it would sort of... Your slightly roasting would eventually turn brown.
But when that skin falls off, you'll be brown. That was... Which isn't the truth. That's not how it was.
So dangerous, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's amazing. And just not care. Sure, it's good to get a colour. Or trying to get burnt before you went. Do you ever have that? You'll only get one burn. So there'll be kids in school.
What do you mean?
So
right, okay.
And they'd be sent into school in shorts and like sleeveless T-shirts and everything. Their parents trying to get them scalded before they went on holiday. Because then they wouldn't get scalded again on the holiday.
That was the theory.
That was the theory.
Wow.
Yeah. The Irish sun will scald you,
and
then the Spanish sun's more dangerous. It's a different sun, I think they thought.
A lot of people, I'd say, still apply that.
Yeah, it's a different sun.
They believe you won't get burnt in the Irish sun.
You won't get burnt. It'll just prepare you for the Spanish sun. So you just expose yourself.
Because I thought you were talking about those people who used to, like, they do sunbeds or something before their holidays.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In order to, so they'd have a tan day one.
That's more modern though, isn't it? Lads go off now on their holidays and they come back with new delf and a head of hair they never had before and everything. It's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Far cry from a stuffed donkey and a sombrero.
It's like
you come back with
deal. You can go in and say it's all inclusive in Turkey, all inclusive. Now that includes what? That includes breakfast, dinner, all your drinks, teeth and a new hairline.
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, when I kind of take time off, I tend to take time off, as in I don't look at anything.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
But the one thing I did spot when I got back was that mad shenanigans. What's his name? I don't know what to call him anymore. Diddy, P. Diddy,
Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever.
Sean,
I don't know either.
Whatever.
Sean Grimes, whatever his name is. Yeah,
Combs, probably.
Combs. Is it Combs? Right, that'll do. Yeah, that's a better name.
Yeah, not one for the Nova Nation, but like another lad getting himself into.
It's
all
just
sorts of
unreal,
bother,
isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
But so many of these, like, so-called, they were like kind of seen, I suppose, as almost heroes back in the day, and they're a lot of true characters sort of coming to the form. That video is shocking.
Yeah.
Of him.
And he's had to come out because it's in the papers this morning about him having to apologise and everything, and all that sort of stuff.
A bit late for that.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got
I
remember once something happened many, many years ago where I felt sorry for Puff Daddy. And I know that sounds like this bizarre story, but do you remember when the MTV Music Awards, the European Music Awards, was in Dublin?
Yeah, oh yeah, they were
in what was the point depot at the time.
Yeah.
And I was an acting student at the time, so it must have been the 90s, must have been 99 or something like that, right?
Is this when you were a seat filler?
Yes, it is that time. Yeah, so there was a seat. So people go up to get awards, and they actually hire people like ourselves, then acting students, to fill the seats. So when the camera goes back on the crowd, there's no empty seats, and everybody's clapping and cheering and all that, right? But
little did they know that seat filler would go on to become a man who would grace. Have you ever played the point?
A man who would never win an award himself, ever.
That's true. You're so you've skirted awards a lot, haven't you?
Yeah. Yet to win anything.
You were there at the ceremony. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Hey,
filling the seats.
Good for you. Award-winning comedian Jim McCabe loves rubbing my nose in that one. That's for sure. But anyway, also, part of that day, right, earlier on in the day, do you remember on MTV there used to be a show where they'd interview people, and in the background there was always people waving in the window?
Yeah, your man Carson something or other. Was that his name?
Whatever, it was called TLR or T.
That's right.
Something like that.
That's the one. And yeah, there was always a big window in the background with all the fans screaming.
But they're not just people walking down the street. They're paid to be there.
Oh,
so you don't end up like a Portal situation where everyone's giving the finger or taking their trousers down or anything like that.
Right.
That's what they are. So we were paid to stand at the window waving.
They're plants.
They're plants, yeah, they're plants. And we were those plants for the day. And this day, it was at Temple Bar Music Centre, and Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, or whatever his name is, he was in there doing the interview.
Right.
And all day, and I mean all day, there was one of the people who were just going, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, please, please, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. Can I have an autograph? 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 Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, all day. Oh, no, I mean hours, Jim.
You make it sound like
to kill him.
That song. It goes boom, buddy, boom.
Oh, yeah. Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff, Puff, Puff. He was like that. Puff, 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 Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff. Please, Puff Daddy, can I have an autograph?
That's not annoying at all.
It wasn't. I swear to God, everybody wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him. It was endless all day. Please, Puff Daddy, please, right? And at the end, when he was leaving, he says, just let him through. Just let him, I'll sign anything. And he let him through. And your man came over with his hand out as if to shake his hand and tried to kick him in the stones. He took a big kick and he tried to kick Puff Daddy.
In the Lee Rodee?
In the Lee Rodees, yeah.
No way.
Now, he missed. He got the inside of his leg, though. And then he was jumped on by security and taken away and everything. And I remember thinking...
Why, though?
Well, maybe he knew. 25 years later, maybe he knew.
So he went to kick
Puff Daddy. He got him as well. He got him in the leg.
He went to kick him in the P. Diddies.
Yeah, and he missed his Diddies and he got him in the leg. Wow. He got him in the leggies. But he went for us. Yeah, he went for us. Yeah, it was amazing. It was unbelievable thing. And they were taking him away.
Nobody ever found out why he did it.
No, we were just delighted he wasn't going Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy anymore. We're so happy that he wasn't doing that anymore. So happy he was arrested. I was never happy to see a man arrested.
I mean, fairness, I suppose, it's not a bad claim to fame.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I did.
The only thing I can think is that he says, I hate Puff Daddy to his friends, whatever.
Right.
And they went, whatever. And he goes, if I seen him in the street, you know what I do? I'd kick him right in the Lee Roadies.
Yeah.
And his mate said, no, you won't. You're a big man talking. He says, I will do it then. I'll find him. I gotta find him this weekend. I'll be going to...
Wow.
I'll kick him right in the Charlies.
But you said these guys were plants, though.
But we were all like acting students. We were paid to be there.
So
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, he was
But not
part
obviously,
of
no, obviously not part of your class or whatever.
No, I don't know where he came from.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he was someone. He got like in
When
fairness
did he
to him,
go- so he
he
didn't
got
go on to
50
be-
quid for it.
But he didn't go on to be famous. He didn't appear in anything we might have seen.
Not even
If
that.
anybody
It
knows who
wasn't even
that
in the
bloke is, by the way.
newspaper. It wasn't even reported on. It was like this weird thing that disappeared. Maybe he's dead. Maybe Puff Daddy had him assassinated.
If I was that bloke now, I'd be making a fortune off that. I'd be straight out to all the papers. Oh, I tell you, when I was kicking him in the, I knew all of this was coming out.
I knew
I never liked him. Never liked him.
Thing is, no one will believe him now. I kicked him in the stones. I mean, no, you didn't. It is, but there's no evidence.
No
there's nothing.
record.
No
Long before
record.
phone.
It was before phone
Yeah.
cameras. It was before any of those things. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeepers, I
But
tell
at
you
least
something.
he'll always have you there to
Always have
remember
me
him.
to remember him
Yeah.
and say, fair play.
Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. If anyone else sees Puff Daddy walking around, don't be afraid to do the same thing. He deserves it.
Glory Days. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at
InsureMyVan.ie.
There's a man called Peter Staynes. Or Stairs, I beg your pardon. Peter
Stairs.
Yeah, he lives in Hove over in Britain, and he's had enough of it. They've put up a new bus shelter outside his house, right? And it's been up there for 10 months, a digital bus shelter, and they haven't turned it on yet. And he says, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. I'm sitting in the house. I've no idea when the next bus is coming. I can't take this. Is ridiculous. Taxpayers paid for that. And it's not even on. So he's done now. He's finished. He's gone out and he's chained himself to the bus shelter. And he said, I'm not going to leave here ever until they do it. I swear to God, I'll stay here till I die, he said.
Wow, full suffragette.
Yeah, now, then
like,
he unlocked himself and he realised he'd probably need a chair. So he went into the house and he got a chair. And he brought it back out and he rechained himself. And he says, now that's it. He goes,
Yeah.
he was in the Navy, right? He was 27 years in the Navy. And he says, I spent 4 years in the Arctic Circle, okay? I'm not afraid of a bus shelter. I'm staying here and I mean it until this is fixed.
He's a hard man.
Yeah.
Okay, not necessarily hard enough to stand up for the whole time, but still, he got the chair, so now he's set for a long stay.
Well, yeah, he was. And then he had to unchain himself to go back into the house to go to the toilet and get some snacks. And he came back out and he's chained himself again. Right? So now he says, the third time he says, I'm definitely not moving. He says he will unchain himself to go to bed, but he's definitely not moving. He's not going to stop doing this until it's... So
Okay, look, I might have to unchain myself to go and see Coronation Street, but once that's over, I'll be back out
I've had enough
until
of this.
bedtime.
Yeah, as long as it's the summer and it's not a terrible day and it's not bedtime and I don't have to go to the toilet and I don't need the snack, I am going to be chained to this pole, right? So this is what he's saying.
Dedication.
So the police were called, obviously, by the council because it's there, I suppose there. So police came out to make sure he's okay, to make sure he's well and he's not under any undue stress or whatever. And they says there's nothing we can do. He's fine. He's just a retired man with a lot of time in his hands. He was upset about the bus stop. It really is as simple as that. So the council
And it's because it's not switched on.
It's because it's not switched on.
Buses do come and go, do they?
Yes, they do, but there's no way of knowing when, Jim. So the council came out to him and they says, listen, we are actually going to do it. There's no need for this protest. It's scheduled for whatever time. It's just, I know it's months away and I'm sorry you're upset, but it is scheduled. It's just going to take a few months. And he goes, well, I'm not going anywhere until it's done. And then he'll
Or at
change
least
himself.
until it's better.
And he says, and he says, well, we'll come back and talk to you. He says, well, he doesn't know when he'll be there then, he said.
Yeah. When are you coming back to talk to me? Because I might be in having a snack or going to the loo.
Or going to the toilet.
I just want to make sure I'm here.
Says, even though I'm never leaving here, you better make sure I'm not gone momentarily.
I normally start my first chaining at about 9:30.
Yeah. Then I have me nap at about 20 to 11. So if you
Fair play.
But it's such a brilliant protest, isn't it? So, there's so many protests going on that at the moment they're very hateful protests and a lot of people get very angry and counter protests. They're all people screaming at each other. No one wants to listen to anyone and everyone hates each other. And then you get a man with a chain who likes a snack, enjoys the weather, and he's got a real cause, And
he needs a comfortable chair.
Yeah, he needs a comfortable chair. And the thing is, when he wins, which he won't win, it's literally going to happen anyway. But when it happens, he'll feel like he won.
Yeah.
And
Be
he'll be,
success-
and he'd really be unbearable then. He'd be walking around telling everyone in the pub and all, "Oh, you see that sign now? See the way? I'm after passing the sign. 6 minutes till the 1:30 comes. That's me that figured that out, you know."
Yeah. Some of us are prepared to sacrifice for things that are worth it in life.
Gods.
Would have been it must be a great thing if you were at an actual protest and somebody's given the full kind of, we will not stop until they finally meet our demands. Will we not be stopping for snacks or anything? No.
Yeah, we thought we were stopping halfway for a slash.
Glory Days. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With insuremyvan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at insuremyvan.ie.
So there we go. There's the death episode.
That's the episode that now you know how that's going to unfold.
Death and taxes that's what we'll call that episode, I think, from here on in. Wow. So are you going to literally head off? We were talking about your will earlier on. You're literally heading from here to sort of like cross the T's and dot the I's.
No, I have to talk to a man in the bank first. So basically, I'm not even messing. This is how it goes. I have to go in at 12 o'clock. I have a meeting with a man to get into even more debt. And then after that, in the week later next week, I can find out who I get to leave that debt to in the inevitability. Well, in the inevitability of my demise. Yeah,
it is a great thing to leave behind, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's better than when I had stuff years ago. I'm so glad I spent all that. I mean, geez, that would have been awful to give that to you now.
So the reading of your will be, Milo, you may pay off my outstanding debts to the ESB.
Yeah, Stevie, those motor loans just keep getting bigger and bigger.
They're yours.
They're all yours. And now here's a list of things I burnt on myself over the last 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's enough shenanigans.
That's it. Oh, okay, let's get out of here. Let's hurry up. We're dying to get done, Jim.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.